Today we're going to talk about some ways to chat with your children if they're coming to you saying that they're sensing or seeing spirits. Although I am not a parent, I've spoken with so many people who are parents about how to talk to their kids and have done a lot of house clearings for people who their kids are sensing these things. They're seeing the same thing I am. So there is a lot of truth and a lot of realistic stuff that your kids may have these gifts with. So to begin with, if your child comes to you and says, Mom or Dad, I am seeing or sensing a spirit in this house, the first thing you want to do is say, okay, talk to me about it. Describe this to me. And through these descriptive words, you will understand more of what your child is seeing or sensing. You want to listen for or understand if the spirit is neutral, is it positive, or is it negative. For example, growing up, I had an imaginary friend. And this imaginary friend, I found out later, was actually one of my spirit guides. But that's a story for another day. But I would talk to my mom about this friend all the time, and she wasn't concerned because she knew this was like a positive thing for me in my life. But some of these other ghosts that I sensed were not super positive. They actually really scared me. So when you're listening to your child talk about these things, just get a feeling for how are they feeling in these situations. Is the spirit bothering them? Do they feel comfortable? What's going on? The next thing you can do is you can teach your child how to feel more safe at night, especially if they're scared. So this is just one simple tool that I use and I have in this Protect and Clear Your Energy course, but I'm going to teach it to you today. So you can teach your child to pray or ask for archangels to come down and help them. You can tell your child to, use the sign of the cross. If you're not religious, you can still use that or teach your child to use it. But you can also just tell your child to use words like, please help me, God, angels, Jesus, any beings of the light, please protect me and help me to feel safe and okay in my room tonight and in my bed. And then have your child imagine this bubble of light going around their bed and around every single wall in their room. And have them see it getting bigger and bigger and lighter. So they're essentially putting this bubble of beautiful white light around themselves in their room to keep them safe. Then they can ask their angels to come in and sit at every door, every window, at the bed, around the bed, and to keep out anything negative or dark, to only allow beings of white light in. Now, this may not seem like a big thing, but I do this every night and I do feel a lot more protected, and I feel that it does keep things out that I don't want around me. So once they've done that, that should help them to sleep better. Now, it's okay if they use a nightlight or something like that. I mean, sometimes I still use a nightlight because I just don't like the dark. I don't like sleeping that way. So they can use something like that to keep them feeling okay. Another thing that they can do is if they wake up in the middle of the night, you can tell them that they can cast that thing out. So if they sense something's in the room with them, or there's something standing over them, which still happens to me, unfortunately. And I'm telling you this because you may not ever have this happen to you, but for a child, it is terrifying. And for an adult, it's still scary. But if they have something standing over them, they can do the same thing. Ask for angels, ask for Archangel Michael or Archangel Gabriel. Ask for angels, Jesus, God, whomever, to cast that thing out, move that thing out of the house. And they can even tell the thing, get out of my home. You're not welcome here anymore. You are no longer welcome in my house. That should help. However, If your child is still coming to you and saying that this thing is still around, that they're still scared at nighttime, you may need a house energy clearing. And what these do is they really do help to clear out the spirits in your home. And there may be something really nasty in your house. Like if you have any heaviness in your space, if you're scared, if your kid is scared to go to bed every single night or even be in their room, if you just sense a coldness or something else, you need a house energy clearing. And you can find somebody locally to do that, like a shaman or a psychic, or somebody like me. I can do long distance or in person, but it really does help to clear those things out. I've done tons of them, and it really does move those spirits out. Finally, if your child is still sensing something, but maybe they're saying, hey, the spirit needs to go, they want to leave the space, they don't know how, they need help, you can teach them to ask angels to come down. Just tell them, angels, please come down and help this spirit to move on. It is as simple as that, and they will help them. So I know this is a lot of information, especially if you don't believe in this stuff. However, if your kid is sensing and experiencing this, it's far better to validate it than to sweep it under the rug. Because my parents, as great as they were, they swept the stuff under the rug. I was scared to go to bed. I was scared in my own home. And for most of my life, until I really honed in on a lot of these tools, I didn't know how to handle it. So you don't want to set your child up for that same experience, because it's not fun. So validate them now, try and figure out what it is in your home. If it's neutral, if it's happy, if it's whatever, leave it alone. But if it's not good, if it's scary, contact somebody to do a clearing and teach your kid how to protect themselves at night and during the day. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have questions, please reach out, because there are a lot of topics around this, but I mostly just want you to feel okay, and I want your kids to feel safer and like they are not making things up. They're not crazy, I promise.